Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the IceHQ Ice Rink here in a reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Warrendrey and Woiwurrung traditional land for the IceHQ Pro League Round 8 game between the Snipers and the Reservoir Dogs. I'm Carl Brewer, and joining me tonight is Anton Goss. This is Round 8 of 9. It's the middle of the end. The Dogs have earned top of the ladder and can't be dislodged. The Snipers have earned second place and will play the Dogs in a couple of weeks in the Grand Final Series. So this game means nothing. Or does it? Well, what do you reckon, Gossy?
Look, I mean, obviously these two teams, they know they're playing against each other, but it goes a long way setting the tone. We've talked about the Dogs this season. They're really replicating the first season of the men's establishment of this league, where the Dogs went undefeated the whole year. These Dogs, these women, they're undefeated. But I think the Snipers, they've been building. They've had good chemistry. Yep. They run 3 lines deep, which are good. They came closest to beating these Dogs in the first installment of the team.
Yeah,
so
they went to that penalty shootout, where it was a very close contest. Of course, it doesn't get any closer than that.
Yeah, a lot to prove.
So, looking at tonight, this is a chance for the Snipers to try and find some weaknesses in the Dogs' defence and try and find a way to shut down the Dogs' attack, because we know the Dogs have the most potent attack in the league by a long shot. It's really interesting too to look at the Snipers. They've got B4, who is an amazing player. She's great to watch. She's playing D, Gossy, and I don't know if you've noticed, she scored 5 goals, or is it 4 goals, I think, and no assists.
Yeah,
now that's unusual for a defensive player to have no assists with the potency that she has as both a back-checking defensive player and also obviously a scoring defensive player. It's fascinating that that's happened.
Yeah, I think, when you look at the way that B plays, I mean, she's so good defensively, but a lot of the attack happens late in games where she'll decide to pick it up in her own end and kind of skate it through it and almost play that offensive position where she takes it in deep, she battles in the corners, and because of that big body of hers, she's able to curl out into the slot area and score those goals. But I think what's really exciting from the Sniper side is EDT really starting to heat up, right? She's played really well, Emily, all season, but last week broke out with 2 goals there in the second period.
I think the key with Davis Tote very much is if she gets room to skate down the middle of the rink, she tends to get shepherded off into the corner, and smart defensive players will kind of shut down her attack. But if she gets space in the slot or gets in close, she's really good at picking up those dirty goals and getting shots from high slots. So she's got a great shot on her. She does tend to carry the puck a little bit too much at times and get shepherded away, and certainly players like Niamh Gallagher will shut her down. But if she gets space in front of the net, she is extremely dangerous.
And I think that's the great thing about the division of those lines too. I mean, EDT is playing with Aparicio, and they've got the young Jasmine Mayer on the wing, and I think Jasmine had one of the best games I've seen last week, where she's really helping out that lineup. I think if you're the Snipers, as good as you want to feel playing your game, the big thing is, how do you stop Danielle Butler of the Dogs?
Well, Butler's been the player of the series. So far, she's had 11 goals and 4 assists in 4 games. That's 15 points. That's more points than the Inferno has scored in their entirety. I know you made that point earlier to me before the game, which is incredible. She is an absolutely outstanding player, and they're going to need to shut her down, which is easier said than done, especially because she's backed up by a very effervescent playmaker in Shana Godfrey, who scored 2 goals and 5 assists, and she just owns that neutral zone when she's on the ice. She shuts down the attacks, creates the plays, and just makes those magnificent opportunities for the Dogs. And that's one of the reasons why they've scored so many goals. Combine that too with Simone Leach, who's been a bit of a surprise package, I think, throughout the series. She's by no means the best skater or best passer in the game, but when she gets in front of the net, she's big and she's got a great net front presence, and she's scored quite a few goals. I think she's up to 3, just basically by being in the right space. And when she does get that puck, it's going in the net. She's got a magnificent shot on her, Simone. And the Snipers will need to shut it down. They get a really good opportunity tonight to see what she can do and see if they can be a bit more physical, because they're going to need to. I know I played against Simone about 2 weeks ago in our beer league here, and you can push her around if you're big and heavy, but for the little girls, it's a bit harder, and they'll need that extra strength and try and find some ways to move her out of that position and be a bit more fierce in the slot.
Yeah, I think if you're the Snipers, you really want to test these goaltenders. I'm not sure if it's going to be Kayla Best, and it does look like it's going to be Kayla in the net. She's played 2 games of the 4. Jade playing the other 2. They've really been splitting it. She does have a very good 930 save percentage, but doesn't face the same number of shots that a lot of the other goaltenders. Say Michaela Piers down the other end, who's faced almost 100 shots so far in those 4 games.
Michaela, I think, has been the goaltender of the tournament so far. She has been absolutely outstanding. with that 9.905 percentage from 4 games on the team, which has been had a lot of shots on them, that's for sure. One of the other things that the Dogs have done well, it had let them down a little bit earlier in the season, but they've got on top of it now, or at least they did the last game, was they were early on a bit sloppy with penalties, but they've been a lot more disciplined. They need to make sure they stay out of that doghouse. It's hard to see them being beaten today, I think, Gossie, but you never know. As you were saying earlier, in round 2, the Dogs won 3-2 in a shootout, and then the last time these two teams played in round 5, the Dogs won 4-1. Butler with 3 and Best with a .957 save percentage for that game. So that was an outstanding performance by Best. Players to watch out for the Snipers, Nella Brenning and Emily Davis-Tope. We know about those two. Asapricio, great at setting up in the neutral zone. And B. DeFore, who we have already mentioned, is a superb defensive player, and she has scored 4 goals throughout the season as well. And as we were saying, Gossie, for the Dogs, Daniel Butler, Shana Godfrey, those two are just outstanding. And they've got a wall of solid D, which would be very surprising if they get themselves in trouble. We're about to get underway.
Well, the Snipers felt really good after that game. They felt loose. They felt like they were having some fun. They're up against the league's best in a preview here of the Grand Final Series, which will take place in August. And we're underway here, and it's the Dogs with the puck stolen there by Pickering. Or Mayer, sorry, on the wall, but pinned up there, and out with the puck is the superstar Danielle Butler, who sends that across over for Grigalunas. Puck now in the corner here of the sniper zone. It's Yates there, or Baker battling. It comes out in front. It's loose, kicked on, and under the glove there of Alex Slade-Baker, who's in the net. Who's in the net tonight?
Slade-Baker had a fairly disappointing performance last time she played, but this is a chance for her to get herself on the board.
Poulin with a shot deflected, and Baker makes her first good save.
Good to see too, Gossie, that both teams with full benches tonight.
Oh, what a pass shot, and it's loose in front, and holy smokes! Tara Baker just shoots that through the crease, as that was a grade A scoring opportunity.
Baker had nothing but net there, but I think she didn't realise quite how open the net was when she missed that shot.
So here it is, broken up there by B. DeFore, right in front of the official there. It's Butler and DeFore battling, and it comes out to Baker. She gets a shot on, nearly knocked forward there by Steph Cochran, and the Snipers will get out. Paige Cameron sends it right back where once it came, and now a battle in front of the Dog zone as the Snipers get that puck deep. Paige Cameron here for the Dogs. She has it on her backhand, but she'll rim that around looking for Grigalunas. Puck's pinched there by B. DeFore, who keeps it in, and she walks through. B. DeFore takes a shot right into the chest of Kayla Best.
So B electing there to shoot high, straight into the midsection of Best in the net. Shana Godfrey just got herself on the ice for the first time and blew a tyre about twice. So it'll be interesting to see if she's got an issue with the sharpen on her skates. We'll find out.
We just saw that on the CCM All-Out replay, how close Tara Baker had, a gaping net, not able to find Twine. And here are the Snipers now. It's Raimondo who sends it back for Neela Brenning. She chips that in front for Conlon, but broken up by Cameron. Conlon and Cameron now battle in the corner. Steph wins out. So Steph Conlon now curling, takes it into the corner and just drops it there for her teammate. Steele sends it in front, blocked by Cameron, and she kicks that out to the point.
The Snipers trying to be a little bit fancy there. We'll see if it pays off for them.
And Conlon just missed the candles there, and it does come out to the neutral zone, and she'll send that back in. A little chip there by Emma Steele gets the puck deep. And the Snipers now still have it. A shot across the slot area, goes into the corner, and the captain, Steph Cochran, collects it and sends that little pass. It gets dropped perfectly there for Sharna Godfrey. Godfrey in, looks to go inside-outside, but loses the puck. And Raimondo's able now to potentially spring Brenning, but that's picked off by Pullen.
Raimondo there showing great patience there. She knew she had to shut down Godfrey, and she did a nice job of waiting until she came right in the right spot and just took the puck off her.
So Tara Yates back behind herself. It's Emily Davis-Tope that collected at the blue line, but the Dogs able to just keep that out into the neutral zone, and Mayer's just forced to wait for her teammates to tag up. Cross-ice pass now. That was looking for Fitzpatrick, but intercepted by the Snipers, and Emily Davis-Tope now gets that puck deep. Puck's in the far side corner. It's Pullen battling with Mayer. Mayer takes a tumble, and Emily Davis-Tope's able to pick up that puck. She looks to get that to the point, but just misread there by Tran, and that forces the Snipers back into their own zone. Off the half wall, it's collected here by Aparicio. Nice move to get past Pullen. She's got it on her forehand, takes a shot, but hits that high and wide. Emily Davis-Tote collects the rebound, though. It's now in the corner. Fitzpatrick wins it out, but a great job there by Aparicio to collect. She's looking to get that over to Mayer. It now comes out, but pushes into the corner, and it's Yates now that'll get that up there for Simone Leach.
So Snipers in the first few minutes of this game have certainly come out with on a mission. They've got some purpose to their play. They're playing doubling up a lot on Dogs players as well on a deep forecheck. It's a risky strategy, but it can pay off.
Another great shift by that line, and I'm really liking it. It's Aparicio, Mayer, and EDT. They were all over the score sheet last week, and they've started off well. It's Niamh Gallagher now who chips that up, and Danielle Butler has it on her stick. You know, magic can happen here. She curls, takes it to the slot, takes a shot, and just shoots that one wide of the net.
Butler showing why she's got so many goals. With just that puck on a stick, it just stays put, and she finds space where there is none.
Nice move there by Baker. She comes in, winds, passes across, back to Baker, open net, and she misses again from the same spot. A great passing play there by the Dogs. Butler now with it. Curls out in front. She's got 3 snipers on her. She goes across to that back door looking for Baker, but it misses her, and Pickering will be able to get that puck out.
The Dogs are trying to be a little bit too fancy there in front of the net. They tried to go a triple shot pass when the
spinorama. What a move by B to 4 right around Butler as she gets that in. Neela Brenning has it. Back, gets on her forehand. It's loose. She comes out in front. Now to the point to Raimondo. Shot off some skates of Butler and now out. Look at the skill on that call. B to 4 spinorama right around Butler.
Well, we know she's a magician, and she showed us why.
And here comes Brenning now with the puck. She's 1-on-3 as her team goes for a change. She'll take that around, looking to use her big body and crash the net. Hits it in front, but that misses, but collected by Conlon. Conlon comes, pulls it in front. A great poke check there by Best as the Snipers still have it. It's loose there on the side of the net. Pumps out there for Grigalunas, who will get it over to Baker, and now the Dogs will go for a change.
Well, they're pretty keen to get off the ice. They've been on for a long time, that line.
Baker just trying to hold it up and get some support. Steph Cochran is that support, but B2-4 will collect that puck and be able to just keep that away from the captain momentarily. Godfrey comes out, though. Cochran out in front, just blocked there by Raimondo, and now a chase for the puck here as Aparicio will get there first, but knock it to the stick of Poulin there for the Dogs.
Godfrey with a great forecheck there on B2-4. Did a great job of taking the puck off and just keeping more offensive pressure for the Dogs, which they need at the moment. The Snipers have had most of the run.
Dumped in there by the Dogs. First back will be B2-4. She has the puck, looking to get that past Cochran, and she does win out. She's got a little bit of space if she chooses to take it, but elects to pass to Aparicio, and that did miss the stick of the superstar there, and that will come all the way back for icing.
If you're not familiar with the rule with the icing, if the puck is played from behind the centre line and crosses the far end of the rink and is not touched, there's a little bit more to it, and the players are brought back for a face-off in the defensive zone, and they're not allowed to change.
Yeah, B2-4.
That's the big penalty is they have to stay on the ice.
B2-4 sneakily made her way onto the bench and hid behind a couple players, and she was able to get a change because she was that one that made that pass. But it bucks out to the slot there, and a miss by Marion now, and the Dogs have it behind the net through Godfrey. Gretzky's office. She takes it around, being watched there by Moore. Gets it back to Cochran, who sends it to the point for Cameron. Cameron takes a bouncing shot. Slade Baker with a save. Rebound, another save by Slade Baker on Godfrey. And the Sniper's still not able to get it out. Cochran, shot, saves Slade Baker. There's a rebound, though. She's down. It squirts out, and here come the Snipers. 3-on-3 the other way with speed. Aparicio coming in, cuts back. Mayer just nearly goes offside there, but kept it just momentarily. EDT fresh off the bench now, battles with Cameron in the corner. Cochran comes in to help her Dogs teammate, but EDT's able to get that behind the net.
Cameron clearing it around, just trying to make some space. The Dogs under a lot of pressure. They had a great attacking opportunity with Marianne with that last chance on the net, but just not quite able to get a puck on the stick.
So Cochran gets it out and a nice pass up to Mendham, and here she is. We haven't heard her name often tonight, but she's coming in now. She's taking it behind the net, curls away from the defense there, gets it in front. It pops out, pulling with it, takes the shot, and a great block by the captain, Georgia Moore, and that springs her the other way. She goes to get around Fitzpatrick and picked up there by Newman.
But Moore did run into a line of 3 Dogs. There wasn't much room in front of her. All she could do was chip and chase.
A little errand pass there, goes down the length of the ice, and Julia Tran first back to touch up. there will be an icing charged against the Dogs.
This time the Dogs go back and aren't allowed the change, but they made a few changes just before that happened, so they do have some pretty fresh legs on the ice. They've starting off now with Leach and Fitzpatrick.
So early in, 8 minutes in, there's been, a little back and forth play, momentum shifted. Best scoring chances for the Dogs, but the Snipers doing a good job to contain the superstar so far.
Slade Baker's made some pretty important saves there early on. There was a couple of absolute A-grade chances, some of which Baker will certainly rue later in the game if it's close.
So here's Brenning. She's being washed by 3 Dogs, takes it to the half wall, tried to get that on net, but missed, and that's going to allow Leach to get the puck out of the zone. She was looking to center it, but it's picked up by Conlin. Can't get it around Leach. Keeps it onside. A nice move by Mendham there just to stretch and make sure she gets it across. Conlin battles through Pullen there, but the Dogs will still win it out. Tran and Simone Leach battling on the wall there. Comes back to Raimondo for the Sniper. She'll just bounce that off the board and will get that puck out. Mendham's had a spirited shift here all over it after, I think you mentioned her just having to go off and get a skate change.
Well, I don't think she needed a skate change, but we did see Shana Godfrey blow a tyre on her first shift.
Well, here's Conlin now on the backhand, lifts it up and just shoots that wide. Conlin still with it, curling on the top of the circles. Nice little move there. Gets it over to Mayer, who's just going to try to get that puck deep if possible. It's intercepted by Yates, and she clears that down the length of the ice, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough for icing, but it is, just as it trickles off and waved off.
And
so
Leach desperate for a change there. She's been on the ice for a long shift.
Ryland gets it up to Mayer. Mayer just chips it over to EDT. This is that line that's been playing so well so far in this period. EDT around the corner. She's got Aparicio crashing the net, but EDT walks around, takes a shot, but a save by Best. Butler chips it on the wall. Pinched there by Bedefour. Gets it down to EDT, who tried to get it across there for Aparicio, but it was stole by Cameron.
Cameron doing a good job there. She shepherded Davis Tope around the back of the net and didn't give her any room to get in close and get a good shot away.
Butler not able to get it out, and it's going to pop there to Aparicio. She looked to get that on net, but it's stolen there by Grigalunas, and she's got Butler if she can find her, but a great job there by Bedefour to intercept that pass. EDT now the other way. She's one-on-one here on a battle on the wall with Gallagher and wins out. She'll take a shot, but hits Cameron right in the chest, and the puck now will come to the superstar leading point scorer, Danielle Butler. Drops for Cochran. Cochran with a shot. Slade Baker with a save, but the puck's loose, and it bounces just out into the corner. Now Pullen pinching. Pullen comes in, looks for a lane. There's a deflection. Save. Puck's loose again, but Slade Baker able to get a glove on it. And if it weren't for the netminder here, it could be a very different scoreline, Carl.
Replay if where that rebound came from. It looked like it came off a Sniper. I think
it did there.
Off Aparicio.
Yeah.
She almost own goaled it, and I think she'll be shouting Slade Baker a beer after this game.
Here we are. So it's the Snipers. Pickering now with the puck. Trips over the blue line there, but is able to get the puck deep.
And Pullen making an uncharacteristic mistake there on a pinch in and getting beaten, but she got away with it.
Puck's now here with the Snipers. Cochran just drops it for Godfrey. Godfrey with some space here is going to wind, take a shot, and off the shoulder of Slade Baker and into the netting.
Godfrey given way too much room there. You can see her saunter up to the net. There's acres of room in front of her, and she has a really good scoring opportunity. So none of the Snipers' defence came up to put any pressure on her at all as she came through that Alex Ovechkin memorial scoring position. Slade Baker saving the bacon there at the end of the day.
Face-off one. It does come out of the zone, and it's Quezada battling there with Pullen, and Pullen's going to win out, but it nearly intercepted there by Pickering, and Sharna Godfrey just patient and poised, waits to find a teammate, and does find Marnie Pullen.
The Dogs very lucky to get away with that cross-ice pass. There was only millimetres off an interception, which would have been an absolute magnificent scoring chance for the Snipers. They need to be more careful. Chips
it over to Godfrey. It's come back to Cochran. Cochran winds, takes a shot, and that one just goes wide. Quezada here will get the puck first, and Zoe will skate that out of the zone. She chips that cross-ice. Bedefour is going to go chase in on Steph Cochran, but Cochran will get there first and make the correct pass.
She's got Godfrey waiting up for that point.
Bedefour, though, just trailing back. She's going to collect it, and she's here with her friend Neela Brenning, and Brenning not able to get it on target, but that's going to fall to the stick of Conlin. Nice spin move there by Conlin. She's still got it on the forehand. There's traffic in front of the net if the Snipers can get it on. A shot deflects off the skate there, and Neela Brenning now has it behind the net. She wraps it around, looking across there for steal, but misses everyone, and Steph Cochran will send that cross ice and force Fitzpatrick just for a battle there.
A nice bit of open ice. The puck came across just as the Snipers were taking a change. There was about 3/4 of an ice rink open, but no one for the Dogs able to jump on it. They were changing as well.
Moore gets it over to Conlon. She chips that up looking for Brenning, but that hops over her stick, and Niamh Gallagher will win that puck. She goes across there to her teammate, Fitzpatrick, who curls back and gives it back to Paige Cameron. Nice little possession play here by the Dogs, and Simone Leach looks and will get it to Mendham, but a great stick check there by Heather Ryland, able to break that one up. Mendham, though, will have it here, and another poke check by Ryland as Mendham blocked twice by the big Sniper defenseman. Pullen has it in her own zone here for the Dogs. She'll take it behind the net and allow her team to set up. She'll send it across, but an Aaron Pounce puck finds Neela Brenning, and Conlon now will battle in. Conlon off her leg. It finds Brenning. She looks to center her, but no one was home.
Dogs. A very even game now so far. We're just over 3 minutes to play. It's still 0-0 in the first.
So Conlon takes a little tumble, and Neela Brenning will now battle with Pullen there just in front of the Dogs' bench. Mayer, fresh off there, gets it and chips it right back to Pullen, and it bounces off the face there of Fitzpatrick. And EDT now gets the puck, and she stick handles in a phone booth and comes out there, puts it through the legs of Pullen. She's got Mayer in front, but she'll cut in herself, take the rebound. 3 saves there by Best, as Emily Davis-Tope tried to do it all herself, as we'll see on this CCM all-out replay. Check this out.
She comes bursting down the side, makes it cut across, but Best, with a beautiful butterfly, she managed to shut that opportunity down, and in the end, safe pair of hands.
Smart play by Best. It's so easy to get caught transitioning on that push as a goaltender right to left, but she kept her foot pinned against that right post and was able to make the 2 saves on the rebound there.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the first. It's still 0-0, 9 shots to the Dogs, 7 to the Snipers.
Aparicio has the puck, gets it over to B. DeFour. Puck now comes over and dumped down into the Dog zone. Niamh Gallagher chips that up over to Grigalunas, and now it pitches out there for Gallagher. Grigalunas just pins it nicely there for Butler, but can't get past the long reach of B. DeFour. But here comes Grigalunas now, poke check there by Aparicio, and now it will be Zoe Quezada with the puck. She's one-on-one there down the wall of Gallagher. Gallagher, a nice job just to swat that one away, and a nice move by Grigalunas as the Dogs will come 2-on-2. She's got Butler with her, drops it to Butler. Butler with a shot and a great blocker save there by Slade Baker.
Slade Baker's playing outside of her skin today. She's had a number of absolutely game-saving saves, and that was one of them.
So Ryland here chips it up over to Quezada. Quezada skates in, takes it on the forehand, but meets Cameron and Butler goes behind the net with some speed, chips it up there for Baker. Baker takes it through. They're 3 wide. Here are the Dogs. Baker shot in right into the catcher's mitt of Slade Baker, who makes her 11th straight save, keeping the Snipers in this game.
The Dogs uncharacteristically unable to score so far, but the first time these two teams played, it was a similar situation. There was very few goals scored, and only ended up 2-2 at the end of 3. So with just under a minute to play in the first, we're still all tied up at 0-0.
Ryland has it, chips it up off the wall, comes back to the point, right on the target there, and who else? Steph Cochran, captain, on the doorstep, deflects it past Slade Baker, and the Dogs do score in the first. Commentators curse.
They certainly did. If you watch this one, it was almost a gift of a goal. That puck came across, and the Snipers just leaving the Dogs there with a little bit too much room and perhaps a little bit tired at the end of the period. They worked hard, but you'll see on the replay that it's just a cheeky little deflection, and in it went. They did have a couple of opportunities early on in the first that really should have been goals, but they just couldn't quite capitalise on them. And that time, they get an easy one, if you've got to say. It was a shot in from the point with not much on it. Came across the front of the net, just a tap in, and in she goes. And sometimes that's just how it goes in hockey. All the fancy stuff doesn't work, and the simple stuff scores the goals, and that's exactly what we saw. So at the end of the first, Gossie, we have got 1 to the Snipers. 1 to the Dogs and none to the Snipers. And I think we've got so far 7 shots to the Snipers to 13 to the Dogs. So the Dogs with more scoring opportunities, but the Snipers are here on a mission. They're certainly not lying down and mucking around on this game.
That one hurts.
And Slade Baker's having an outstanding game so far.
Great,
There's nothing
great
she
game.
could have done about that.
Great game, Slade Baker. And that one hurts if you're the Snipers. So late in the first period, you've done such a good job to get yourself, this result, 0-0 against the league-leading team. They score in bunches, hoping just to get to that first reset on the bench. You score one, Dogs get one late. That's got to hurt the confidence a little bit. But if you remember, last time these two played, it was the Dogs that came out to a 1-goal lead off the power play goal of Simone Leach, and the Snipers were able to come back after being down 1-0, then again down 2-1. They tied it 2-2 to go to the shootout. So they've been here before.
They certainly have, Gossie. One thing I've been impressed by so far is the Snipers have been attacking in waves and quite content, or rather I should say, very keen on getting a very aggressive forecheck. They've had 2 players in deep on the forecheck on a lot of occasions, really trying to put pressure on the Dogs' defence and shut down those breakouts. It's been mostly successful. The Dogs have resorted a couple of times to some very risky cross-ice passes and been awfully lucky to get away with them. They want to be mindful of that because if they do that too many times, sooner or later it will get picked off, and then then best will be well and truly tested because it's just such a risky thing to do when you take a cross-ice pass out of the defensive zone without an awful lot of stick on it. But they've done well. The Snipers are certainly in it, but as you say, that just in the dying few seconds of the first, the Dogs with what you'd have to say was an easy, soft goal. It was just a shot from the point. There wasn't much on it. It was just a little deflection. Nothing much that Slade Baker could do about it. The angle she was on, she couldn't really do much about it at all. But just an unmarked player sitting in the slot, which is the second most dangerous thing in hockey. They need to tidy that up as well. They need to be a bit more physical in front of the net, the Snipers. They're a smaller team. They're fast and they are very agile, but they just need that little bit of extra physicality to defend the patch in front of the net that the Dogs have certainly had very well. They're forcing the Snipers' attacks out wide and giving them bad angles.
Well, we're going to start out here. Sharna Godfrey, Steph Cochran, and Aurelia Marion here. They're the line that scored that goal late in the first, and they're going to be rewarded by getting first time out here in the second period. Snipers battle here on the wall. It does get chipped into the zone, but B4 is going to try to stick handle her way out of that, but it's collected by Marion, intercepted there by Brenning. And Conlon now will get pinned to the board by the goal scorer, Cochran. So lots of play there, and who wins out? It's Cochran now over to Godfrey. Godfrey, what a kick save there by Slade Baker. Some great passing play there by the Dogs. Snipers out, though, and it's Neela Brenning. She's got Conlon going to the net. Brenning looks to take the shot, and that ramped up a Dog's stick, and the Dogs will not be able to get that one out.
Very good, sensible defense, though, from the Dogs. Just shutting down Brenning as they
Conlon in front, Brenning save. Where's the puck? It's loose. Best gets her glove on it, though, as that was Conlon that took it into the corner. As you see here on the CCM All-Out replay, she chipped that in front looking for Brenning, and Brenning had 2 stabs at it before Kayla Best was able to get it down. But, Carl, you look at this. Best gets down in the butterfly, spreads those pads out, and leaves that 5-hole pin close, which didn't allow Brenning to sneak that one by.
Cameron now going in the corner looking to try and pass it up the boards.
She gets it up only as far, though, as Mendham, and Mendham chips it down. No icing here. First back is Ryland, but Mendham keeps chasing that and nearly stole that off the Sniper defender.
Mendham with some great speed there in vision. She saw an opportunity, the D pinched up high, just chipped it off the boards and straight past her.
Here's EDT, takes a shot, that's high, into the chest there of Best, and she thought about dropping down for a second, but it looks like it bounced off her glove and down through her equipment as she had to do the old goalie shake and shuffle for that one to fall down.
Trying to find where the puck was. Which particular part of your equipment is it stuck in? Nice save there too. It was a good shot by EDT. Nice. It was through traffic.
So face-off win, Aparicio gets it back to Moore. She has a shooting lane, decides to take it, but that goes off the knee there of Cameron. Simone Leach can't get that puck past Ryland, and a bouncer there goes through the slot past EDT.
Cameron did a good job there, just fouling EDT's stick and lifting it up and just preventing that interception.
Mendham now with it, looked to dump but fanned on it, and Moore is going to be able to send that up to EDT, who falls over. Aparicio and EDT watching the puck, but it does come out to Simone Leach, and Aparicio sends that deep, and they go for a change.
Cameron going deep to pick it up for the Dogs. She's got a lot of space in front of her.
great thing for those watching at home. You always talk about your coaching, right? The change more important than the rush, and no better example of that than the snipers deciding to get that deep and go for a change and get some fresh legs on.
It's wise play indeed. If you can't back check, then you shouldn't be on the ice.
Butler winds, makes a nice move there, but can't get it past B4, and we've seen that matchup all night. B4 against Danielle Butler, and so far, Butler not able to get on the score sheet.
It might be the strategy that the snipers are trying to use. They're putting D4 on whenever Butler is and trying to shut her down, and so far it's been mostly effective.
B4 just had the pressure there of Butler and decided just to take a little bouncer in on the goaltender. Never a bad idea, but Best is a very good goaltender there and read it all the way and right into the catcher mitt.
Trying to get him with one of those rolling muffins. You never quite know where it's going to bounce.
They're the scariest ones if you're a goaltender. You're like, please don't bounce on a weird angle and change direction. But here it is, a battle on the wall, and winning it is Yates here for the Dogs. She'll take that behind the net and try to chip that in, but Pickering was able to get that one deep. So Grigalunas now just trying to stick handle her way out of this, and she will get that over to Pullen, who does a nice move to get past Pickering, and the Dogs are 3 wide. Pullen just takes it around. She's being watched there, and a shot, she scores! Marnie Pullen with a great individual effort. Took it wide and put that roof over the blocking arm there of Alex Slade-Baker. What a goal.
That was an outstanding goal there. You got to see that shot from a very, very tight angle. There was a very small gap between Slade-Baker's shoulder and the top corner, and in goes the puck. Beautiful shot there. Some lovely, fine individual play all the way down the ice. The Dogs have been threatening to do that throughout the game, and not much Slade-Baker could do about that one. She'd need an extra shoulder to stop that.
So puck's down here, and the Snipers, despite playing very well so far, 11 shots, scoreless, and they face a 2-goal deficit here against the league-leading Dogs.
What they have done so far, though, Gossie, is they've managed to keep
Butler
quiet, which is possibly because they're pairing her up with B4 every time she gets on the ice.
So Moore here just chips it off the wall, looking for Brenning. It chips over the head of Cochran, and Brenning will win out on it. She's got no one with her, though, so she'll just try to rip that on. But another great block by Paige Cameron. She's up to 3 blocks already tonight. Tran looked to send her that in, but that was intercepted by Gallagher. And great passing play here springs Godfrey. Godfrey, nice move, takes it on the backhand, shot on, and that one just goes wide. Brenning will collect for the Snipers now. Looks to go across, but intercepted there by Aurelia Marion, who will send that back to Cameron. Cameron off the wall, looking to get that forward, but intercepted by Tran, and she'll just send that the other way.
Godfrey's been on the ice now for quite a long shift. She'll probably be looking for a change. She's just slowing down a bit as Brenning comes into the corner.
So Brenning on Gallagher. Gallagher is going to win out on that puck, and Marion will get it into the neutral zone, but not past the captain, Georgia Moore, who sends that deep. That's going to allow Gallagher for a change, and EDT, fresh off the bench, able to get there first and twist around Cameron. So EDT with it, looks to center the puck, Aparicio off it. It's in front, Aparicio with a shot, Mayer with a rebound, and takes that into the corner. She'll chip it back for B4, being watched there by the Dogs as she gets pinned on the wall. Mayer will come in for support. It
was a good
now
desperation
Cameron
save there by Best. That was a loose puck and anything could have happened. A little bit of luck, but sometimes you need that.
Aparicio just walks off the wall there, looks to center it for EDT, and a great move by Cameron just to get that out of the danger zone. EDT loses that battle there to Godfrey, and Cameron now will take that behind the net. So another great shift from this line. It's been the Snipers' best, and Aparicio has it in front to EDT. She'll wind, take a shot, and that just bounced off the leg of Gallagher and went wide.
See, Gallagher had EDT well marked, and good stick check, which just prevented any sort of a
So lots of pressure here. Aparicio in front, chips it back for EDT, but Best saw that all the way and was able to get down.
This has been a great press by the Snipers. They've been
Aparicio in front, another deflection by EDT, but a great glove save, probably her best of the night by Kayla Best.
In terms of situational awareness to their best, she needed to get a stoppage in play. The Snipers had a good 30-45 seconds of consistent attack. The Dogs had been unable to clear the puck, and now they've got fresh legs and a chance to get the puck out and clear it up.
So puck here goes behind the net. It's the Dogs able to get it in, but a pinch there by Tran keeps the puck deep. Snipers looking to build on that great shift by that line, Aparicio, Emily Davis, Tope, and Mayer. Poulin, the most recent goal scorer who went top cheddar. She gets that up there for Fitzpatrick, who'll get the puck in for the Dogs. Shots now 14-14 here in the second period. And it's Mendham now behind that. Centers it in front. It's loose. And the rebound down. A sprawling Alex Slade-Baker covers that one up as the Dogs look for their third of the game.
Leach there with a little bit too much time and space in front of the net. You can see here on the video that Leach had a great opportunity there to get a backhand and put that puck in, but Slade-Baker made the change. The Dogs a little bit fortunate to survive that previous little stanza of play, but a bit of desperation and a little bit of luck got them through it, and that's what you need in this game. 2 goals lead to the Dogs with just under 10 minutes to play.
She's got 2 points already tonight. Takes a shot, that one goes wide. Comes back to the point. Nice pinch there by the Dogs. Get it deep, but it does bounce for Conlon, but not able to get it out as Nelson was able to keep that in for the Dogs. Baker now centers it for Butler. It goes through everyone, and Conlon loses it, and the puck's now loose behind the net. Out is Georgia Moore. She's being watched by Baker. Butler able to just not collect that, and that's going to spring Brenning. She's 1-on-2 all alone, though. She'll take it wide, tries to use her long reach, shot through and misses the net. And Butler now will collect it for the Dogs.
Nice piece of play there by Pollen to cut across and shut Brenning's lane down.
Stolen there by Nelson, and she chips it up to Baker. Over to Grigalunas, over to Danielle Butler. 15 points on the season, but none tonight as she's not able to get past the captain, Georgia Moore. Baker with a shot now, and saved by Slade-Baker there as the Dogs were looking to pounce.
With just on 5 minutes to go here in the second, the Dogs out to a 2-0 lead after that lovely goal by Marnie Pollen at 14 minutes in, and she was assisted by Tara Yates. So, till 8 minutes to play with a 2-goal lead in the second.
Face-off won by the Dogs. That was shot on by Cochran, and that nearly fooled Slade-Baker, who made another great save. B. DeFour was looking for the stretch pass, and that missed everyone, and the young Niamh Gallagher gets that and sends it over to Cochran, who made a nice play to keep that away from B. DeFour.
Yeah, DeFour was coming in a hurry, but Cochran just timed it nicely and chipped it across and nullified the neutral zone play.
And that shot
we'll
sent
have an icing
down the length of the ice for an icing. So, you know, the Dogs score twice so far, up 2-0, but the Snipers, they've been all over the puck, and it's been led by this line. Aparicio, Emily Davis-Tope, Jasmine Mayer, and they've got Beautiful on the point. So if there was a time for them to score, the time should be now. EDT, though, chases in on Cameron. She's only able to get it as far as Mayer on the half wall, who sent that in looking for EDT, but intercepted by Gallagher. Gallagher chips it off, and that gets past everyone, but first to it is going to be Steph Cochran, which will break up that icing. She looked to center it there, but stolen by Julia Tran. Sharna Godfrey just cycles that back down into the corner, but Beautiful got that and knocked it away from Cochran. Godfrey, though, will get there first. Aparicio looked to chip it up to EDT. It's going to bounce for a battle. Gallagher will chip it. Julia Tran has it. Tran will get it up to Mayer, and here come the Snipers. She's got Aparicio crashing the net. It's going to come to Aparicio. Oh, just couldn't get that one past Best. Aparicio had way more time than she thought, and she just tried to get a stick on it and couldn't best the goaltender there.
You'll see that in the replay, or if you don't wind the video back, you'll see just exactly how much time and space the Snipers had there. Gallagher was caught high on a high check, and a high challenge, and as a result, the Snipers came through with a 3-on-1. It was a grade A scoring opportunity. They just couldn't quite finish it off.
Just as that was going on, we have Sharna Godfrey going to the box for a little bit of an elbow there on the corner as she talks to referee Sian Pierre, and the Snipers will go to the power play fresh off a really good scoring opportunity, and unsurprisingly, Aparicio back out on the ice as they go for a little bit of a loaded up power play here. Conlon, Aparicio, Brenning with B. DeFour and Georgia Moore on the on the back end.
They're certainly going to want to score here if they can, but the clock started and a little bit of a stoppage now in play. An interesting decision to run that line, certainly this early on in the power play, because they will be tired. But,
well, it's just Aparicio's double shifting. Brenning and Conlon fresh on, so they're probably bringing her on for her face-off prowess because she has been pretty good, Aparicio, so far tonight, as she did win that one again. She'll battle in the corner now on Nelson. It will come out to Marnie Pullen, though, who will curl away from Brenning. Doesn't get much power on it though, so B4 is going to collect the puck there. B4 gets it, takes a shot, it bounces in front and over into the corner there for Nelson.
Brenning just not quite able to get onto that little deflection. The puck comes out and the Dogs clear it, which will run some time down.
So Georgia Moore sends it over there for EDT, chips it over in for Neela Brenning. She's in. She's got a bit of space to get around Nelson. Curls, takes a shot, a blocking arm save there by Best, and B4 pinches and gets it down to EDT. EDT chips it back to B4. If she can get it around Simone Leach, Moore was open, but Leach able to send that down the length of the ice.
It's all running down the clock on the penalty for the Dogs. That's what they want to do, just under 5 minutes to go.
So Nelson now twisting and turning. Brenning not able to keep that one in, and B4 is first back as Butler goes for a chase. DeFour over to Moore, pushed back into her zone by Mendham. Has her head up, looking for a teammate. Is going to elect to choose B4, and there's acres of space here for B4 to skate into, and she'll take it. Send it over there for Brenning, but Jasmine Mayer had just drifted offside, and that probably will kill off most of that penalty.
To go now on the penalty. So on the drop of the puck, Godfrey will be back on the ice. We will see if she jumps straight into the play or skates across. The pet hate of mine is when they skate straight across. It's like you're giving the opposition another 10 seconds of penalty. But we'll see what they do. It's up to them. And on the drop of the puck, the penalty is over.
So the puck does come out, and Godfrey's out. Intercepted there by Butler. She's one-on-one on Tran. Gets around her, takes the shot, and misses the net. Godfrey, though, sends it deep in the corner. Butler will win that momentarily, and Newman now just drops that over for Ryler or Pickering. And Pickering can only get it as far as Gallagher, who sends that back up for Grigalunas. Grigalunas evades the check there of Pickering, sends it back to Cameron. Little possession play here by the Dogs as they send it over to Baker. Baker off the wall just to go in deep. First to it will be Julia Tran for the Snipers as she turns away from Danielle Butler. Curls away from Butler again, but now Butler wins out the puck. She walks in front, looked to send it across the ice there for Baker, but intercepted there by the Snipers. Puck sent down deep. It's Newman or Steele now that gets it out into the zone. Cameron, though, wins it. She skates in and elects to go herself, and she'll take it in with speed. Gets it around one, takes it to her forehand, curls it back. She's got Grigalunas crashing the net if she can find her, or Niamh Gallagher at the point.
Yeah, Gallagher unmarked there on the point would have been a good option.
Mendham now walks out. Grigalunas, takes the shot. That goes wide, and Newman will get that puck down the length of the ice.
Just over 2 minutes to play in the second. The Dogs up 2-0.
Good pinch there by Pickering. Stopped that one up on the line, but Godfrey's now out for the Dogs, and she does have some space if she elects to take it. Instead, takes a move into the slot area, curls again, and probably one too many moves there by the Dog star. Moore chips it up to Brenning, misses her. That's going to go length of the ice, but no icing. Pull in, 2 points so far tonight, a goal and assist, collects it, trips over herself there, picked up and won by Conlon, and it will be a penalty here to the Snipers, and it will go there to Emma Steele as she got a stick there on the skates of Marnie Pullen.
So the penalty there, she didn't trip over herself, she tripped over a stick. And we will be finishing the period on a power play for the Dogs. The Snipers have scored short-handed in power plays on a number of occasions, and look for B4 to see if she can redress the balance, because she certainly has history of doing that. If the Dogs get lazy and get a bit sloppy with their passes, it can sometimes go ahead. And we have a goal straight away, and that looks like get some light back in here. So the goal scored within the first 5 seconds of that penalty, pretty much from the attacking zone face-off, and that will bring things back. Dogs now up 3 with that power play goal. And that wipes off the penalty for Steele, who's back out on the ice now. With just over a minute to play now, the lead 3 goals to the Dogs, none to the Snipers, and we'll see if Godfrey can just maintain the Dogs' dominance. They've only got the 4 players on the ice at the moment while they just get their bench organised, but it's all running down the clock for them as well, which has some benefit if that's how they want to play. And this time, just stuck in the corner, as there's a little bit of a board battle going on, and we've got Marion there trying to dig the puck out as the referee blows it up, and we will have a face-off just outside the offensive zone for the Snipers with just on 30 seconds to play. Can they get a goal back? They desperately need one with a 3 goals deficit. Davis Tope takes a shot, but it is beautifully blocked there. Yates gets a stick in the way. Tope pressing her, but not enough. The puck now comes out to the Snipers' point. They shoot it in again, but only as far as Godfrey, who dumps the puck clear, tries to find a connection, but it's dumped all the way down, and we're going to get a no icing as B4 tries to clear the puck back up the ice, but only as far as the top of the neutral zone, and that blows the horn for the end of the second period. I'm not quite sure why the scoreboard for you is only showing 2 goals to the Dogs, because it was definitely 3. Will no doubt get sorted out very shortly. Shots on the net so far in that period. We had for the Snipers 8, and for the Dogs just the 5 shots, but 2 goals. It was very productive for the Dogs in that period. Goals to Marnie Pullen, and Butler finally broke the drought that she'd been, well, finally a drought for her. She hadn't scored in the first period, and just on that power play goal, where she scored very quickly from the face-off, which you can scroll back and have a look on your video if you like. We've got Anton Goss now just heading over to try and get an interview with, not quite sure who he's grabbed. It looks like he's grabbed hold of Slade Baker. He's going to have a quick chat with her. She has played an excellent game so far throughout this and made some game-defining saves to keep the Snipers in when they would otherwise be down by quite a lot more. She's made some absolutely critical saves throughout the games. You just wait for Gossie to get everything ready to go, and we're good to go. Anton, take it away.
Alrighty, Carl. I'm here with the Sniper goaltender, Alex Slade Baker. Unreal first period. I think it was pretty hard getting that late goal at the end. Tell me what's going through your mind, because you were on fire to start this game.
There's not much going through there. I'm just kind of trying to keep the nerves down after the first couple of games that I've played, and hope for the best, have some fun, get a win hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good battle. I mean, obviously they got 2 goals late in the first, late in the second. I think it was Danielle Butler getting on the score sheet. I mean, normally she's got 4 or 5 by now, so I think you're doing a good job. Obviously, you guys are paired up against the Dogs for the grand final. That we already know. Tell me what you guys are talking about pregame or in the room, just about what that means going into the grand final series.
Pretty much just make sure we play hard and get to the puck first and get some goals on. Have some fun while we're doing it, and hopefully get some wins out of it.
Well, so far 2 weeks in a row, I think the Snipers are all about having fun. So hopefully you guys can come out in the third really strong, get a few on board, give you some goal support, and we can take it from there. Thank you so much, Alex. Enjoy. Catch you later. Back to you, Carl.
Thank you, Anton, for that quick chat with Alex Slade Baker, who, as you say, had a fantastic first period. A little bit unlucky at the end of the first with that little cheeky deflection goal where Cochrane was just left with a little bit too much space and just tickled around past. There wasn't much she could do about that. And then Pullen found a very, very small gap indeed to get the puck up over his shoulder. And then Butler from that power play, which took everyone by surprise, not the least of us here in commentary, trying to catch up with exactly what had happened. We did see a penalty to Shana Godfrey for a slashing for the Dogs. She did 2 minutes, but the Dogs did a good job of shutting that one down. And then Steele with a slashing penalty, which gave away that goal to Danielle Butler to take the lead out to 3. In terms of shots on the net, though, the Snipers got 8 to just the 5 for the Dogs, but the 5 shots from the Dogs did give up 2 goals. That statistic is always a bit of a misleading one. The Snipers were very, very potent in the first half of that period. They had good control in front of the net and managed to manufacture a number of A-grade scoring opportunities, but just couldn't quite finish it off, with Kayla Best doing a magnificent job, as she always does, for the Dogs to shut them down. So at the end of the second, 1 period to go in this round, we have 3 goals to the Dogs and none to the Snipers, and we'll be back with you after the ice cut in around about 7 minutes.
My name is Kendall Coyne Schofield. I am from Palos Heights, Illinois. I played my college hockey at Northeastern University, and I'm currently on Team Adidas with the PWHPA. The PWHPA is the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association, and back in May of 2019, a group of players got together to form the Players Association with the mission to change the landscape of women's hockey forever. I hope to see a more consistent product on the ice, so that when you turn on your TV During hockey season, you don't just see the NHL. You see women's hockey just as consistently as you see men's hockey. Once we start seeing that, I think we'll really see the true growth that the game has already exceeded, I think, without the infrastructure that it deserves. I remember the first time I saw a women's hockey game was when I was 10 years old, and the Olympic team came through the United Center in Chicago to play Team Canada before the 2002 Olympic Games, and I was just a bug on the glass. And then from there, the next game that I saw was with the women's national team was the one I played in, just to show you the gap of how hard it is to find and see women in hockey. To be it when you can't see it, that's such a strong purpose and mission of the PWHPA. We know how important that visibility is to the next generation, so that when these young girls grow up, they know that there's a place for them to be in this sport professionally and make a living doing it.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
you play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
put on your helmet, flex your stick,
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear
and feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level. When you feel your best,
you play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
who knows where your best will take you.
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies. But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
In Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, for the third period of this magnificent game we are seeing tonight between the Reservoir Dogs and the Snipers. To bring you up to speed, I'd like to say it's all tied up, but the Dogs with a 3-0 lead over the Snipers after a thrilling second period. Through the first half of it was all Snipers. They had a lot of attacking opportunities, but Kayla Best did a fantastic job of shutting them down, and the Dogs' defence stretched at times, managed to preserve the integrity of the twine. That's one for you, Gossie. You can use that later. And managed to keep them out. So the Snipers must be wondering what they need to do to score a goal, because they had a lot of opportunities, but they couldn't quite get through. And then Pollen pulled one back with a beautiful skate up the side and found herself some space. And then Butler scored unassisted on a power play with just a minute to go, as we're about to get underway in the third with the Dogs with a 3-0 lead. Yeah,
it was 2 late goals, one at the end of the first and one at the end of the second. That really has been the difference really here, 3-0. And here's Mendham now for the Dogs on the fresh ice. Takes a shot, but blocked there by B4, and Aparicio comes back to collect it. Just evades the check of Simone Leach, and out comes EDT there. 2-on-3 though, and Mayer just goes offside and comes back on, and EDT springs forward. Curls into the slot. She's got it on the backhand. A shot off the skate there of
Paige
Cameron.
Got that one.
So puck's pinned on the wall there. It's Mendham who has it. It'll chip out here to Ryland. She'll send that deep. Mayer with it. She'll throw that on, and it deflects off the stick but goes wide.
Got to say, Gossie, so far, I think Paige Cameron's had one of the best games we've seen from her tonight defensively.
Very good defensively, and no penalties, as she leads the league in penalty minutes as well with 10. So puck now comes to the point. It's Gallagher able to keep that in on Aparicio, but Aparicio ties up Gallagher and knocks her stick away, and the Snipers will get out. It's Pickering with the puck now. She comes in, just chips that over to the far side, and will chip in, and that's going to allow the Snipers to change. They come out with fresh legs. Pinned in there. It's a great pinch there by Quezada. Puck out in front, shot on by Pickering, but another save there by Best. Puck behind the net is Danielle Butler, who got on the score sheet late on that power play, as the Snipers did a good job up until that time to stop the superstar from scoring. Quezada, though, has the puck. She takes a shot on, saved by Best with the stick there as that goes behind the net. Gallagher rims that around. Grigalunas on the ice, and she fans on that pass, but is able to collect it and use her poise just to keep that away from the Snipers and regroup there in her zone. Drop pass there. Cameron now will collect it. She skates through. She'll just chip that off the ball looking for Baker, but it finds Julia Tran for the Snipers in their zone. Butler wins that out. Tran just steals that out of her skates and goes cross ice for Brenning, who dropped her stick, so wasn't able to collect that pass.
The Snipers with not quite the same forechecking pressure so far early on in this third period. They've just been running a one-man forecheck, and it hasn't quite had the effect that the two-player forecheck they were running earlier.
So Moore was settling that down, and her whole team left the zone, and that left her stranded as Danielle Butler was forechecking, and the Dogs now springing out here on the forecheck. Butler gets it around Moore, but Moore comes back in. It's Grigalunas with a winding shot and a glove save there, and a beauty by Alex Slade-Baker.
Slade-Baker there keeping the Snipers in the game. That was a good opportunity for the Dogs. Snipers a little bit sloppy trying to clear out the puck, and with the change going on, they got a little bit isolated. But Slade-Baker did the job in the end.
So puck now comes into the corner. Raimundo's going to rim that around. It will be Emma Steele who will collect it. She's stick checked there by Grigalunas, and it springs out looking for Brenning, but Nelson will be first back for the Dogs. Brenning with the forecheck, but Nelson gets it over to the half wall, and Dogs will look to get it out through Marnie Pullen.
We're starting to see some good combinations between B4 and Nella Brenning. They're probably working on that.
B4 now with the puck on the near side. She looks to chip that in, but kind of fanned on that one, and Nelson will collect and send that up to Cochran. B4 forced back into her own zone. There are two forechecking Dogs, and nearly picked off there by Marion, but Raimundo able to collect it. Chips it up there. It's Conlin looking for Neela Brenning. Brenning now looking to go wide on Nelson. Nelson just pins it up. It's in the skates of Brenning, and Nelson chips that up over to Cochran. Cochran up to Godfrey. It's 2-on-2. Godfrey and Cochran. Godfrey takes it wide on the backhand. She takes a shot, but a great save by the trailing leg there of Alex Slade-Baker.
Slade-Baker once again keeping the Snipers in this game. It was a great move by Godfrey to cut across.
Shot by Pullen onto the stick of Moore. Chips that up to Mayer. Mayer looking for Conlin, and Nelson intercepts that one. Mayer, though, will collect it again. It will come into the zone, and Mayer will get that deep, and EDT with the legs is going to skate in and forecheck on Pullen. Pullen looks to keep that away from EDT and does momentarily, and all she can do is chip it up over to Fitzpatrick. EDT has it behind the net now, curls away. She's got 2 dogs on her, and she wins out the puck, but Pullen collects the puck there and is able to clear that one. Heather Ryland in her own zone now, forced back. Simone Leach is going to get on the forecheck, and Ryland will just stop up and chip that up to EDT, who's had a good spring in her step. This line has been great. They haven't been able to score, but they've been closest for the Snipers, and shot there by Aparicio, and another blocker save by Kayla Best.
Aparicio there with a lot of room in the high slot. Good shot, but Best had it well covered.
EDT falls down behind the net there with Pullen, and supporting Fitzpatrick just gets it as far as Mayer. Mayer chips it to herself in the corner. Simone Leach is going to come in, and Mayer will just knock that off the skate and will go back there for Pullen. She elects to bounce that high, and it does mistrans stick, but does find Bidafour, who's being checked there by Mendham, and here comes Zoe Quezada. Zoe in, looks to take a shot, but just runs into a black wall of Dogs defenders.
A nice poise earlier on by Defoe, but we've got the Dogs now starting to look for those big stretch passes and get behind the Snipers' defence. They've got confidence and they've got a buffer, so they're looking to try and steal a few extra goals.
Bidafour off the Dogs skate there, and Britt Mendham has it there on the line as she chips it up to Grigalunas. Simone Leach crashing, and it does find her. Just comes off her stick to Bidafour, who chips that up to Newman. Newman's got Pickering down the other side, but Danielle Butler comes in and steals that puck, and she's found some space as she comes 1-on-2. She's got 2 teammates, though. She'll drop that for Leach, just missing the stick as Newman chips it up to Pickering, and it's up the other way. Pickering around Gallagher, still with it, but Paige Cameron steals that puck as she'll take that to the safety of behind her own net.
So one of the advantages of having Butler on the ice is it does tie up a lot of Snipers' defence. They had 3 players trying to cut her out, which gave that beautiful opportunity for drop pass.
Georgia Moore, great pinch, takes it down behind the net. She's got it on the backhand. She's waiting for a teammate and elects to go to the point. Raimondo now will come in, but sees Butler, so she'll just chip that down behind the net and force a little one-on-one battle behind there. Niamh Gallagher wins that one out, rims it across, looking for Grigalunas, but Conlin comes in and keeps that one in. Another great pinch by Moore, but who else? Danielle Butler comes out with the puck. Snipers forced back, 11 minutes now remaining in the third period, a 3-0 game in a tune-up for the grand final. That will happen in 3 weeks. Yates now with the puck, trying to keep that away from Brenning, is able to get that there in front of the scorer's box, and Raimondo now will go D-to-D over Moore. Moore tries to get that up to Conlin. A nice stick lift by Cochran allows Yates to collect it, and Ryland, fresh off the bench, gives that a crossover for Steele. Steele being watched there by Pullen, gets it up to Brenning. Brenning walks the line, makes a move, but Godfrey's there and looks to stretch Cochran, and Cochran will get on her horse as she looks to kill that icing, and she does. So Cochran and Ryland battling. Ryland chips it up, but only as far as Godfrey, who has that. She takes it, battles with Brenning, curls back into the corner as Godfrey now for the Dogs. Sends it back to the point, kept in there by Pullen, but collected by Ryland there for the Snipers. She'll chip that over for Bidafour. Conlin with her. Bidafour, though, will stretch it up for Brenning. Brenning's one-on-one on Pullen, and she makes it on. She's on a break. Neela Brenning. She's got Aparicio. Aparicio with a shot and a save there by Best on a 2-on-0 where Neela Brenning elected to pass, and Kayla Best stood tall to make that big save.
You've got to say, Gossie, that that's one of those situations where you're almost guaranteed of a goal. The Best shutting down the Snipers. Snipers perhaps a little gun-shy. Surprised that Brenning didn't take that shot.
I think Aparicio was just as surprised as you, because Brenning had a straight drive to the net, and she usually makes a move and makes no mistake, but Kayla Best.
And you have the advantage of the goalie being in 2 minds when you do that, but not once you've passed it.
So there we are now. It's Mayer, though, chips it up to EDT. EDT with a shot, and that one goes high and wide. Puck kept in here by the point from Bidafour. She looked to give that deep, but it's chipped forward there by Godfrey and cross ice, and Cochran will come in on Tran, and Godfrey's wide open in front of the net, but that just crossed the line for icing.
In case you're curious, the 2 earlier icings that were called off, the reason for that is if the attacking player does get down and the referees think that they will win the race to the puck, before they get to the face-off circles, then the icing is waved off. So it's called winning the race. And a defensive team can win the race to the puck and wipe off an icing. And that's what we saw earlier, but not that time.
Aparicio wins that face-off, but it ties up on the dot, and Cochran will win it out and look to stretch Marion. So Marion just at the red line, look to chip it back, and it's going to come straight to Niamh Gallagher. She's got a lane, and she'll take it. She's in the zone, on the slot, takes a shot, saves Slade Baker, and Gallagher collects her own rebound. It's collected by Godfrey, who will now send it to Gallagher. Gallagher looking to center it, but a great stick check there by Slade Baker. Springs EDT one-on-one. EDT with a shot and shoots that wide again. She's missed the target twice now in this third period.
You've got to make that goalie work, haven't you, Gossie? If you just shoot him wide all the time, it's never going to go in.
So point now with Moore. She looked to take a shot that deflected off a dog's stick into the corner. Moore with another great pinch here. She battles. She's got Newman in front and collected here Ryland. Ryland will take a shot. It deflects over into the corner and collected there by Fitzpatrick for the Dogs. She centers it to Gallagher. Gallagher looks to stretch it, but it's kept in by Pickering. And at the point there, Zoe Quezada, but it does get over the line, and that's going to allow the Dogs to just have a little bit more breathing room. Mendham chips it forward, looking for Fitzpatrick. A pinch there by the captain. Moore now sends snipers the other way. Quezada there on the left wing looks to just get that deep. It bounces behind the net, and Paige Cameron's going to collect it. Cameron rims it up over there for Fitzpatrick. Kept in, no, missed by Raimondo, but luckily Newman back for the Snipers as she goes over to B to 4.
I think that was a radioactive puck. No one wanted to touch it. Went past 2.
Now with Nelson for the Dogs, she'll just chip that over on the wall. Simone Leach will chip that up to Mendham, and Mendham will come in on B to 4. Nice poke check by DeFore. Raimondo now will collect and not get the puck out as Pullen pinches well. Sends that deep. Fitzpatrick against DeFore. DeFore up on the wall for Pickering. She leaves it for Brenning. It's 2-on-2 now, Brenning and Quezada. Brenning sends it over there. Quezada now over the line. Brenning going to the net. Quezada stops up, looking to center it, but intercepted there by Pullen, who's having a great game. 2 points so far tonight.
Fitzpatrick, too, doing a good job of just pushing Brenning out of the way, not giving her room. She's smaller, but good, strong play.
Deep for DeFore, stolen by Pullen, and the puck now rims around as Pullen gets poke checked by Brenning. Newman there battles, looking to center it for Brenning, but it does find Nelson, who's just going to send that down the length of the ice, and it will go down for icing as the Dogs won't be able to change, and the D look a little tired, if you ask me, Carl.
Well, this will be an opportunity for the Snipers. They need to score now. They've only got 6 minutes to play, and they've got a 3-goal deficit. This is an absolute we must score if we're to give ourselves a chance to get ourselves into this game. So the Snipers will be looking to score at this. Watch for them to creep up forwards and take more risks.
Face-off won by Butler. Nelson just curls away. She's got a little bit of time and space. She'll stop up and put her head up and find Baker, but stolen by Conlon. She's got a shot opportunity there. Rebound! Shot! They score! On the rebound there, Emma Steele scores and breaks the shutout bid for Kayla Best as the Snipers claw one back and make it a 3-1 hockey game here in the third.
That's exactly the goal they needed, Gossie, at that particular point in time. That gives them a chance. At what point now do they start considering to go very aggressive on their forechecks? It does open them up to room behind for counterattacks by the Dogs, but they're in this game now, the Snipers, and they know it. Can they flood in the later on in this third period?
We have been calling them the comeback queens, and Emma Steele scored her first goal and first point here in the Pro Winter League. And EDT now, the Snipers, it's gone to their legs. She's got it in the corner, walks out in front, takes a shot, but that deflects off the stick of a dog and goes behind the net. EDT, though, collects it on the half wall. She just evades Cochran and gets it back to the point for Moore. Moore looked to give it deep, and Cochran there does get the puck out. And Aparicio now sends it deep into the Dog zone.
Godfrey and Cochran there combining nicely with some layers to break it out for the Dogs.
Tran sends it up. EDT will collect it and take it over the line. She's got it on her forehand, takes it in the slot area, winds up for a shot, and shoots that wide. Mayer has it. She looks to center that one. It goes behind the net to EDT. She's got it on the backhand, looks to get that in front. The puck's loose. Aparicio with the shot. It's in the slot. It's come out to EDT. Wine shot, kick, save, and a beauty by Kayla Best on EDT. Looking to claw another one back.
It's all money. That was going to be a goal, but Best put that pad in the way And shut down Davis Tote's chance.
So here comes Godfrey. Nice move there. Can't get past Tran, though. Trailing Fitzpatrick collects it, though. And Tran now will battle with Godfrey behind the net. She kicks it up to her stick, but Tran able to collect the puck. And she'll bounce that to the point, but not out as Pullen is able to send that high, and a deflection off the stick of Slade Baker sends that one into the netting.
Pullen there with some very wise play there from the blue line. She realised that the tempo had been raised a bit there by the Snipers, and all she did was just fire it in deep on the net and force the face-off. The clock not stopping, it runs the clock down, and the clock is in the favour of the Dogs. Just a 2-goal lead now, 3-1, with just over 3 minutes to play in the third.
So Biederfur looking to clear that out, but it's Pullen who will collect it. She'll make a nice move there and take that into the zone. Winds, but takes it again wide. She's got a couple players crashing the net, and Pullen still wins it out. She does center it. It's loose. What a stick save by Baker. And Fitzpatrick sent that one wide. Oh, I can't wait to see that on the CCM all-out replay. Slade Baker paddled down, just stole that off the Dogs' Fitzpatrick.
And that was Simone Leach there who had that great scoring opportunity for the Dogs, that loose puck, but she just couldn't quite get what looked like a backhand onto it to tuck the puck in there, which would have put this game out of the Snipers' reach, but they're still in it. Question is, did they pull their goalie?
They've got a 2-goal deficit. Play.
They've got a penalty power play now as well, and that's
Britt Mendham.
Mendham who will be sitting.
Look at that save. Alex Slade Baker saved that one for the highlight reel, girl.
Oh, absolutely. That was fantastic. But do the Snipers pull the goalie and go 6-on-4? They've only got 2.5 minutes to pull back 2 goals. I know I'd be doing it if it was me. I'd pull that goalie out and flood the net.
Comes out Aparicio. Great stick check there by Best. She's got it. She looks to center it. It comes out Brenning. Conlon there too, but it'll come to Cameron and kept in again by Moore, who's having a great game. Aparicio in the slot area being watched by 2 Dogs. Still with it. Centers it. The puck's loose. Where is it? They score! Neela Brenning on the power play. Claws another one back. And the game is 3-2 here in the third period as the comeback queens are looking to do it again.
We've got a thriller here at IceHQ. Now what this does too is at this point in time, because the margin is low, we are now going to get a stop clock for the last 2 minutes. Every time the game stops, the clock will stop, and as a result, there's no point in just dumping the puck down. So makes things harder as Brenning steals the puck on a pinch, drives in deep to the corner, looks to try and pass across the puck across the front. It's loose into the corner again as the Dogs try and break it out of their defensive zone. Some desperation play there by Butler trying to break the puck out. She finds another Dog, and she's back in through the top of the neutral zone.
Baker with a shot there, goes wide into the corner. It's B4 now, sends it across. So this is much like that first game we saw. The Snipers got one late to tie it and force the shootout. Will they be able to do it again? Butler behind the net, has it now, centers it, a great save by Slade Baker. Remember that if the Snipers are able to get back in this game.
Slade Baker's made so many of those absolutely critical game saves, and we're getting a timeout now, so there will be a 1-minute break. I'm not sure who called it. I think it might have been the Snipers.
Oh, definitely.
So they've got 90 seconds to go, or 84 seconds, and a 1-goal deficit. They'll be talking about, do we pull our goalie as soon as the puck goes down the other end? They need to flood with numbers and try and get that extra goal back. They're in with a real chance now. It didn't look like it at all with just 4 or 5 minutes ago, but that's the game of hockey. Things can change very quickly. And the Snipers now have really lifted, and they're playing on heart and manufacturing a lot of opportunities. Can the Dogs settle it down, keep their composure, and defend at the kennel? We'll see, Gossie, won't we?
Shots are 24-24, and it's been a lot of the Snipers' play here in the third is, you know how much it means to them. It might not matter in the standings, but it definitely matters in the hearts of all these women, and it's a great test to say what's going to happen going into that grand final series. The Snipers have shown they can play with these Dogs.
Well, that's absolutely right. We've seen them before get up to a penalty shootout at the finish too. They're in with a chance. If they get one more goal in the next 84 seconds, then we look at going to yet another penalty shootout. And the first time these two teams played, way back in round 2, that's exactly what happened. The Dogs winning in that occasion.
So
let's see what happens this time.
They've gone with a 4 forwards and 1 defenseman, as Aparicio's out there with Brenning, Emily Davis-Tope, Conlon, and B4. And you imagine Georgia Moore is going to be hopping over the bench when they pull that goaltender. But the Dogs have the puck. League leaders haven't been beat. Is tonight the night that somebody does finally get it across? And it does go down for icing, so they'll be forced back in their own zone.
That not necessarily a bad thing, though. Gossie, a defensive zone face-off does turn into a magnificent attacking opportunity. If the Dogs D get a little bit complacent, they creep in high on the blue line. There's a lot of space behind them, and that's something for the Snipers to take advantage of. And you can see that. Look at where the Dogs D is. They've crept right up.
Well, Danielle Butler wins that face-off, but a winger win, if you want to call it, as EDT went forward. Neela Brenning now wins the puck. She's on Baker, holds up, watched by Butler. Aparicio goes across. It bounces off a stick of the Dogs, and the Snipers have it in. Kept in there by Conlon on the point. She chips it on the wall. Slade Baker still in the net. It's Nelson battling. It comes out to Pullen. Pullen looks up, doesn't want to ice it, but would love to get the puck out. Butler on the wall there, watched by Brenning. A pinch there by Pullen, and it's just stuck there on the far side wall. It comes out, and who's going to have it? It's who else but Danielle Butler as she sends it up to Baker. Conlon stops her up and pushes her into the boards there in front of the bench and tries to get that one deep, but Nelson just forced to send it across ice, and Emily Davis-Tope will get there first. Back to the point, Aparicio with a shot, ramps up the stick of Butler and sends that down into the half wall. Nelson can't get it out. It's EDT there being watched by two Dogs. It pushes down into the corner, and Pullen now battling against Conlon. Conlon wins out, Butler there with it on her stick now. The Dogs back to Pullen, over to Nelson, over to Brenning. Brenning in front, comes down, and that will be it. So a fighting flurry there by the Snipers, but the Dogs do become victorious 3-2, setting up a great grand final series.
Thank you, Anton, for that call. And in the end, slightly anticlimactic win there for the Dogs. The Snipers had all of the run in that last 10 minutes of the third period and really gave themselves a chance, but somewhat confusingly, they didn't pull their goalie. They left her on. They had an opportunity to go 6-on-5 and really flood the net and create that extra scoring opportunity, but they chose not to do it, which an interesting decision with that sort of a margin. They certainly did put a lot of pressure on the Dogs, and Slade Baker had an outstanding game and made a number of game-defining saves, but not quite enough in the end to keep the Snipers in it. But they did a magnificent third period with a goal to steal, and then Brenning finally managed to get through in the end, assisted by Aparicio and Georgia Moore on the power play. So a fascinating game there. It's a precursor to the grand final. A great confidence builder for the Snipers. They've shown that they are certainly capable of beating the Dogs. Things just have to go the right way for them. And they are a team which is more than capable of beating the Dogs. The Dogs will have learned a few lessons from that one, in particular a bit of more practice playing against players like Emily Davis-Tope, who they know will carry the puck, but they did quite a good job, mostly of forwarding her off into the corners and shutting down her attacking rushes. Great game too by Kayla Best in the net for the Dogs. She made some outstanding saves when she needed to and kept the Dogs well and truly in the game. Anton Goss will be getting us an interview in just a moment, but until he picks up one of the Dogs, I think, to ask them about who's going to hold the cup, it's a bit presumptuous. Shots on the net in the third was 10 shots to the Snipers to 7 to the Dogs. All up, the Snipers were 25 shots to 24 shots to the Dogs, but it is always a misleading statistic. It doesn't tell you how good the shots were. It does give you an indication of the flow of the play, and you'd have to say that the Snipers had most of the play and most of the goals. In that third period, they got 2, whereas none to their Dogs as they tried to claw their way back into that game. But it wasn't enough, and the Dogs took the bone with a 3-2 win over the Snipers in this second last round of the regular season of the Pro League here at IceHQ, as it looks like Anton has lined up Kayla Best, and I think that might also be Shana Godfrey, Shana, one of the great playmakers of the Dogs, and an effervescent forward, and Kayla Best, who did such a fantastic job of keeping the net out. And we'll cut across to Gossie now.
Alrighty, Carl, what a game tonight. I'm here with a couple superstars. Kayla Best, Shana Godfrey from the Dogs. Pretty big game, eh? You know, it's a little bit of a grand final tune-up. Tell me, just walk me through a little bit of that game. How did it feel to be on the bench?
Look, our spirits were high. We knew what we had to do. We played our game. They were all over us compared to other weeks. They know the key players to mark. And yeah, they covered us. We obviously didn't have as much time with the puck as we normally would, but I mean, look, great game by both teams. It was a tough one.
Yeah, definitely a really good game. I mean, I'm all for Team Goalie Gang. You know, I love the goalies. Kayla, you had a shutout going into that third period. I mean, I know it's the curse word. We didn't want to talk about it, but you made some unreal saves. And I think the best thing about a goaltender is when it looks like you're making it look easy. You know what I mean? You're just using your positioning. Like, talk about like what's going on this season. Is there sparkling save percentage? Like, really the rock for this team. Tell me what's going through your head during this game.
I just think this team defensively is just fantastic, and they're just covering it up and making it pretty easy for me as well. We knew they were going to come out in the third period hard. They do every game. So we need to be ready for that going into finals.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been calling them the comeback queens because they always seem to come back there near the end and, you know, put you guys under a lot of pressure. You mentioned the finals. You're obviously playing against this team. Like, what are you guys talking in the room about what you guys need to do to win that best of 3 series?
Look, we're just going to go back to the basics. We were trying to make pretty passes through the neutral zone, which put us on the back end. And, I mean, we just got to gain that zone, get those shots on, getting there for those rebounds. Just go back to the small stuff.
So, undefeated season so far. You got one more left against the Inferno. There's a dog super fan. Some of you guys might see him around. Jeff Watson. He's loved it from when we started with the men, now over to the women. He wanted me to ask you, Kayla, who's going to lift the trophy if you guys win on that grand final? Who's it going to?
I reckon. Who do you reckon?
I think it'll go to Riley.
I think it'll go to Steph Cochran, and then I reckon Danny. They've just been carrying us and some great leadership in the room, so I think it goes right there.
Amazing. Love the confidence. So you hear that there. Dogs looking to stay undefeated. Great game by you guys. We're excited to see you guys out next week. And then obviously for the grand final, go celebrate with your team, girls. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Anton, for that quick chat. Jana Godfrey absolutely telling it like it is. The Dogs at times trying to be a little bit too fancy. And once they get a little bit more discipline and a little bit more getting the simple stuff right, I think you'd be very hard-pressed to play against them. That said, next week they play against the Inferno. The Inferno will be pretty keen to try and salvage some pride from what would otherwise be a fairly disappointing season for them. They've just had the one win. They'd like two. And it's always a bit of a commentator's curse to call shutouts, even more so to call a whitewash season. Can the Dogs go undefeated? They would love to before finals. Can they beat the Inferno next week? The Inferno would like to salvage some pride and give themselves something to cheer about it as they go into the break before the next season for them. Can they do it? There's only one way to find out. Round 9 will be Friday the 4th of August at 7:40 p.m. here at IceHQ. Bring it on.